Well, hello. This is for sticky hips. If you ever feel congested in your hips at the end of a hard working week, if you have that stiffness build up or you want to improve your hip mobility, this is a sequence that is done with the least effort but maximum effect. So, come down onto a mat. I recommend getting a bit of extra cushioning under your yoga mat with a blanket or something like that. Take the legs wide apart so the feet are wider than the hips themselves. We'll often call this window screen wiper movement we're about to do, but we're going to make a bit of a difference to it today. But to begin, I'd like you to lift the chest up, come up to a seated, take hands around the knees and lift the heart. Rock back, roll past the hips. So we're creating a tilting of the hips. As you rock back, you'll feel the connection with the core. We want as much spinal mobility as possible. Okay, obvious things to look out for as we're rolling on by. As we come up, avoiding throwing the head up to the ceiling. It's a sternum lift. Rock back. And then once we've done it a couple of times, we can take that focus going into a breathing rhythm with it. The inhale is the lift, filling the ribs. Exhale is the rock back, the sweetness, the contraction of the core. Inhale will come up to a seated, lift, hands behind for support. Because it's about mobility and I'm doing congestion, we're going to take both legs over to the right. Stop when you feel resistance turn up. Before the left buttock starts to lift up to compensate for the stiffness in the hips, flex at the ankle and then pressing the knee down to the earth. I've just had a big clunk in my back. Result. And you'll feel that in the hips. Keep pressing the buttocks down so we're twisting the hip bone in this process. Back to the centre. Take it to the other side. So here comes my resistance early on this side. Then it's the pressing down of the knee without lifting. You could roll the buttocks up and that will mitigate it going in to the knee. So stabilise the hips, press the knee towards the earth. And rock to the other side. Keep the hips firmed. Rock to the centre. Now, if there's any issues with knees, watch out for the feet going floppy. Keep them activated. Remember, this is about mobility, not necessarily stretching. It's undoing a day. Maybe you spent a lot of time in the garden like a green goddess. Maybe you've been up and down ladders painting and decorating. Maybe you've been sat in an office chair or driving for a long period of time. Okay, that's a few of those done. Knees over to the left. Then come to sit upright. Now we allow the buttock to come off the yoga mat. We're going to press that forward. Left hand behind support. Rock the hip back. Press it forward. And use the hand to guide it. Pressing down. Easing up. Manoeuvre through. Now let the movement go up the spine. Let it undulate up there, let there be ripples coming up from the hips. Because there's one great big hoof-in muscle called the psoas that goes from the top of the thigh bone all the way up your back. Google it, don't just believe me. So there's manipulating this right hip. Then turn to face the left knee, hands either side of the knee. Start by cat-cowing the spine. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, rock back. Continue with me, so you don't have to look at the camera now. I'm looking at a camera. You're looking at a screen. Little rock back and forth. You should only have to watch this video once. It's quite intuitive. It'll feel right. Get the sequence and then add in. Lift the chest, and then we'll take the bow over the knee, sending the heart towards the kneecap. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Reach the arms forward and drop the weight over the thigh. This time as we lift, we take a twist towards the back. Lift up and twist. And then lay the heart down. Lift up and twist behind. Lower down. I'm going to repeat it. This isn't a stretch. This is mobility. Range of motion. Unclogging, descaling the hips. And lay it down. All the way back up. Hands behind you. Another click at the base of my spine. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, rock back. Inhale, lift the chest. If you can sit upright, hands over the knees, even better. Exhale, rock back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, rock back. Okay, over to the side. So, we have the twist that goes around. We allow the hip to come up. And then we rock the hip back down, press it into the earth, lift it up, roll it, rock it back down. This hand is the guide. I'm sort of over exaggerating the movement, but we're rolling. You also get a bit of a massage into a muscle called the piriformis in the other buttock. But I repeat myself, this is range of motion. This is easing into it. And take maybe a little look behind. Now we're going to go over the other knee. Hands either side, cat and cow position first. Inhale, heart forward through the window of the arms. This side, shed loads tighter. Exhale, arch the spine, curl under. Inhale, send the heart forward. Oh yeah, there it is. And rock back. I'm getting into this side now. Tell by the breathing, so that got resisted. Inhale. And bow. Lift. And lower. Lift. Lower. Lift. Lower, now I have to twist behind. Inhale, lift, take a little twist, look behind, and lower. Lifting and twisting. And no shame in repeating myself again. If you find something, my 3 golden rules, remember rule number 1, if it feels good, keep doing it. One side feels like it needs more than the other, stay longer there. If there's a move that I haven't said do, but you feel yourself going into it, great, do that.
if you want to just flop down and rest in it and think, oh gosh, I'm done for here, do that. Number 2, if you go into a place that doesn't feel right, let's come back up again. Stop bloody doing it. Hey.
Inhale, lift the chest. A little rock back. Hope you can't hear my tummy rumbling there. Inhale, lift the chest up. Reach, reach, reach. Rock back. Lift up. This is a really good sequence to do if you've done Manduka and Asana, which is frog pose in yoga, which I shall quickly show you at the end. Preferably do that at the start. Hold it for 5 minutes. Yin pose. Lift, hands come behind. Back into a nice subtle rock and roll, this time letting the hip come up. So next time you do this, if you are so inclined to do so, and you want to stave off rigor mortis, aka stiffness, then dying, because that happens to us all. Always my happy little reminder. The way to do Manduka and Asana is mat against the wall. Some of my yoga students are joyful when they see this turn up. Pad the inside edges of your knees because they will become a distraction, and there's enough going on without you need to be distracted by sharp pains on the inside of the knees. So extra padding. Make sure the hips are further forward. That's a bit generous of me, isn't it? I don't think I'm going to get that far. The hips further forward than the knee joint. To get into it, feet are sandwiched against the wall. So there is no escape from such things. Blankets, cushions in front of you so you can rest. Forearms down, hips further forward than the knees. Get the knees as wide as possible, hence a nice soft blanket helps. And then you press the hips back towards the wall till you feel. And then rest. Blocks, blankets, cushions. And put a timer on. 5 minutes is the appropriate time, and you stay still and stationary. And if you were to choose to do that before doing the hip mobility, you have got an absolutely spanking way to protect and rejuvenate your hips. This goes out to the goddess of green and all of those that need a little bit of hip repair. So I hope you enjoyed that. Subscribe, like, ring the bell, I don't know. Anyway, thanks for being here. Peace, love and light always.